Today's video is all about the switcher, an opening that was a favorite of the legendary champion James Wyllie, who said he scored more wins with this opening than any other. That's pretty impressive stuff, as from a theoretical perspective, this is a pretty weak debut for the second side. We have a special guest on this channel today, and he really needs no further introduction. Alex Holmes, thank you so much for joining me today to discuss this opening.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Of course. So now, Alex, as we both know, there's a ton of published play on this opening. And again, it dates back all the way to the 19th century and probably even earlier than that. And a lot of that play is pretty accessible today. So I think for this purpose, we're going to break down a couple of lines within the switcher opening that probably won't be as easily found in published play and are really alternative lines and maybe some unconventional ways of playing this opening. So let's get started here. So the switcher opening begins 11-15 and 21-17. Now the 21-17 move is really what defines this opening. However, universally back in the 19th century and even up until the advent of 2 move, 9-13 was almost always the reply because that completed the bind of the second side single corner. Alex, you agree with this, that 9-13 is the most powerful move here at this point?
Definitely. It makes it red by far best here, the first side.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go anywhere else, second side probably is actually best. So 9-13 is by far the best move in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what really solidifies and makes this a strong move for the first side. So now, as I mentioned, we're going to show a couple of different ways to play this kind of going forward. The 25-21 line is almost universally regarded as the best line of defense for the second side. However, for this purpose, we're actually going to show you a different move, and that's the surprise 23-18 move. Alex, I know you've done a little bit of research on this move. Why do you like this move for the second side?
Because, well, for 2 reasons. One, everybody knows the 25, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but most people know a lot of play on 25-21, and it's, 23-18 is some that a good amount of people don't know. And because of that, and for the second reason, it's easier for me to get wins off it. So that's why I play 23-18 every time, because I'm trying to win every game as much as possible. So you gotta throw something wild at them right off the bat, and I like 23-18 a lot more than 25-21.
I agree with you, and I know you've mentioned previously really the best way to score wins against today's master level players is to play something they're unfamiliar with. So certainly this 23-18 is not as common, and really at this point the first side has a couple. Well, really it really can't go wrong here with its moves. Either the follow up with 8-11 or 5-9, which is what I prefer to really strengthen that first side's double corner to attack the second side's corner. So 5-9, allowing the 18-11 change, and then the 8-15 follow-up. Now here at this point, the second side really does need to cover up with 25-21 to further damage to its single corner. Alex, your agreement with me here that 25-21 is the best move now?
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to go 25-21 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just to solidify that, to cover up that hole. Now here, the first side again has more options. So again, it really has a lot of room to make a lot of strong moves. But here, I like 9-14. It's very logical. It's further developing the center of the board and further attacking the second side. Now, Alex, I believe the next best move for the second side is that 24-19 break. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, it is. It also, you can, I've played it on you before, that you can go 27-23, but 24-19 is by far the best way to go to try to win games.
Mm-hmm.
If you go 27-23, 15-18 is just so powerful for red, and there's just no chance of winning that for white. So 24-19 is by far the best move.
Yeah, with that 27-23, as you mentioned, that 15-18 break, will ultimately involve on a lot of exchanging of pieces and removing a piece from the back row from the second side. So yeah, you're just asking for trouble. It's sound, but yeah, you're asking for trouble there. So now,
Absolutely.
Now the second side has partial share of the center of the board, and now I played against you 7-11 here, which really is not very strong. So really 4-8. I don't want to say it's forced, but it's really the best move for that first side now.
I agree with that. You can't, like, it really depends on your preference. I would go 4-8. I know you were trying 7-11 a lot, but yeah, I definitely think 4-8 is the best move here.
Yep, and then kind of the really cool move that you played here after 4-8 is 30-25. And what that does is now the second side is preparing to later make some exchanges into the center of the board, which we'll show here going forward. So you can see that, again, the second side is looking to control the center, and we're going to show you how the second side does that. So now, again, with 4-8 being played, this is one of those things where if you say A, you must say B next. So 8-11 is the proper follow-up. And now here, the second side goes 27-23. Is that correct, Alex?
Absolutely. Yep.
So creating a further column there.
Yep. And preparing to go 22-18 as soon as you can. Break out all your pieces.
Exactly. And I hope you're starting to see this plan now of consolidating the center. So again, with the further advancement here, we're going to go 11-15. Next, if 11-16 is played, I believe the second side can continue to dominate the center by going 22-18. So like you said, 22-18 is going to happen regardless here.
Absolutely.
So after the 11-15, now you can continue to support that center by going 30-28, exchanging that off.
Mm-hmm.
And now the first side is going to continue to try to attack that piece on 19 by going 7-11. And now, Alex, we have the all-important 22-18 break.
Right. You have to go here, otherwise you're just in a horrible spot.
Mm-hmm. Now, the biggest question here is, do you take that double exchange? Do you go 26-17 or do you go 25-18? I think probably theoretically the best move is 25-18, but I think for this purpose, to really show you how to simplify the game very quickly, taking all the exchanges is best. What are your thoughts, Alex?
It depends who. It honestly depends who I'm playing against. If I am trying to go for a win, I will actually jump 25-18. But obviously, if I just want a simple draw, I can go 26-17. And I mean, there's not really much more play after that.
That's true. Yeah. So with the 25-18, and I'll just say this for this purpose, what the first side should do is to continue to develop and harness its position by moving 3-7 or 1-6 next. It doesn't want to try to further advance in the position. It wants to harness and keep control of its own side from its own back end as best as possible. So I think, Alex, that's the way to defend it for that move. Let's just say 26-17 is the move that's taken because, like you said, that's let's show what an easy draw may be. So after all those exchanges, the first side can press a little bit by going 2-6 next, in which the 18-14 exchange is forced.
Right.
And then after that, the first side can either go 6-10 and exchange it off there, or 11-15. It all ends up being a pretty easy draw. Even with 11-15 having a bridge ending, it's not enough to win. And I think, Alex, that 23-18 move to start off the game was just a really interesting move for variety. And hopefully, the viewers can see that, hey, try it out. It's a good sound move, and you may even surprise some people and win a few games with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love it.
Okay. So, Alex, let's go to the other game now. And the other game is, again, the switcher opening. And instead of 23-18, we played the more traditional 25-21. Now, this next move, Alex, I know you have a bit of history with. I do too, because I played it against your father recently. and that is the 5-9 follow-up. Alex, why do you like the 5-9 follow-up compared to the more traditional 8-11 follow-up here?
Again, I think it's a little bit, I think it's actually stronger than 8-11 in my opinion. And also the 8-11, again, most everybody knows because that's what a lot of people play. And so I always play 5-9 because that's how I always win with the red side. I mean, I probably win with this 3 out of 4 games I played, to be honest, because a lot of people just don't know it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. They don't. I think for me, when I played it against your father, I was just looking to transition into the 6-9 switcher, which I did by playing 30-25 next. And then the 9-14 follow-up is what transposes into that opening. And that's another opening. I covered it in a recent video where it's incredibly balanced, but you do have to know the published play to navigate it pretty safely. It's limited in scope, very limited in scope, but you still have to know the play to navigate it. However, you played, and same as your father played, the 8-11 move now, which almost universally forces the 7-14 exchange, obviously not taking the double jump there. Alex,
Right.
why do you invite that 17-14? It looks like such a strong position now for the second side, but it's very deceptive.
Again, because like you said, it looks very strong for white, and we again prefer to play that because everybody knows the 9-14, and I'm the one that actually, I don't know if he'll remember this, he'll probably say he's the one that created it, but I'm the person that showed my father this, and he's been winning a lot of tournaments playing 8-11 here instead of 9-14.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've always been playing every time. I actually won this quite a few times playing this in Goes You Please too. Getting similar alternatives off of this in my last time I played the Goes You Please National. So yeah, I really prefer 8-11 here instead of a 9-14 common move.
Well, I tell you what, let the record show this is your move. So if your dad tries to take credit for it, the record here shows this is in fact your move. No, that's fantastic. And look, he almost scored a win against me in the recent tournament. I was very lucky to get a draw off this opening. So now after that double exchange, Alex, your father played the 12-16 move. I went 26-23 and almost ended up losing. Again, I feel like that was a deceptive line. The 4-8 here, though, is kind of what you had studied and what your preference here is. Do you have a preference one way or the other, the 12-16 or the 4-8, overall after kind of analyzing this?
Yeah, I showed my dad before that I think 4-8 is the best move on the board here, but he likes, I guess, since he plays 12-16, he may have studied a little bit on that, but I prefer 4-8 because, again, that's what's gotten me the most wins, so I'm not going to fix it if, it's not broken, so I keep playing it every time I get the chance.
There you go. And I think, too, 4-8 is very logical here. Again, it builds up that 3-piece column that you can see here. So now, again, the best move for the second side is just to exchange off and get a good share, really actually dominate the center of the board with 24-19. Now, in practice, Alex, I know I was jumping that side jump, 27-20. That's really no good, as I came to find out, and as you also have confirmed to me.
Right. That's another thing too, because I think you have to go 24-19 at this point right here, because I think every other move actually loses on the board. I forgot to say that actually. So if you go, I think 25-21 may draw, but it's very weak, as you can see with the 2-for-2. But yeah, you have to go 24-19. Otherwise, you're probably in a loss in this game.
Yep. Exactly. And then jumping that 28-19 is going to be the best capture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those looking to kind of switch things up, don't try it here for the second side with that side jump. It's not worth it, as I learned.
For those that if they do try to side jump on you, the powerful move is going to 12-16, which it looks really bad at first, but it's definitely the move against the 27 to 20 jump.
Yep. And then I learned that lesson too. The natural 28, 24 just doesn't hold up at all. So Alex, after this 28-19 jump, then 11-16, I'm guessing is the best move, followed up by 27-23.
Yeah, you can go 11-16, but I actually have been studying a lot lately, and I prefer this 1-5 move now.
Okay. Well, let's play this out, Alex.
Yeah, I like this 1-5 move a little bit better, just because again I'm trying to win a little bit more, and this will end up giving me a better ending, I do think.
Okay.
It's played a certain way, obviously. If you play it the best way, I think it's just a sound draw, just like it's supposed to be. But
sure. Well, I think the viewers will enjoy playing this out. So where does the second side go here next, Alex? Is 25-21 the best move, or what 26?
You can go 25-21 or 22-18.
Okay. Well, let's play that 25-21 then.
Okay.
All right. So now, the first side has to take some action because there's a triple jump that the second side is threatening. So is 6-10 the move here, Alex?
Actually, no, it's not. The best move is 11-16, and this is what kind of throws people off right here.
Yeah. That's very good to know. Okay. So what next here, Alex? Is it 26-23 or what's the best play here?
Best move. You can go 27-23, and of course, if they do that, Red has to take the shot. But it's a good ending for Red, so that's why I play it this way. If they do go 27-23.
Okay. So, yeah, and again that 27-23, you have the 13-17, and then the 3 for 3 there. So 26, but let's play 26-23 next. Okay.
And then you have two options. You can go 8-11 or 16-20. I preferred 16-20.
Let's play it. And then, as you can see on this board now, the second side is totally dominating the center of the board.
Right. Which, to me, I don't mind. Maybe some of the viewers will not like that, but this is the way I like to play. So,
yeah, and I think again, this is great variety. It shows that you can still dominate the center, and still maybe not have the best game. So, yeah, Alex, let's continue to play this out. So after the 16-20 move, where does the second side go from here? Does it go 23-18 or does it go 22-18?
I don't think 23-18 is that good of a move. I think 22-18 is the best move here, just so you can build up your and have complete control of the center currently as of right now. And then of course 6-9 is forced right here when they go 22-18.
Yep.
So, okay. And then after that, see, and this is where people start to kind of go a little. When you play in tournaments, people are going to play really safe, I feel like. So the best move on here is 19-15, which to me is like too aggressive for a lot of players that play in these tournaments. Like a lot of people would go, I think a lot of people would go 31-26 right here, which is sound, but again, it gives Red the best game by far, in my opinion. So the best move for White here is 19-15.
I think you're absolutely right. I think players generally are safer. Certainly, there are tournament players that are very aggressive and ones that are always trying to win. I would put you in that category, that would consider every move on the board. But generally, in a high stakes, high pressure situation, you are going to want to play safer moves that for sure are sound. So that makes total sense to me, Alex.
And then, so I go 12-16 right here.
Okay. That almost looks forced.
Yeah, of course. And then, again, White keeps pushing the piece. It's the best move. Playing really aggressive, going 15-10.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to go in straight for a king or get a king with that not even being bothered at all along the way.
Right. And then so red goes 13 to 17 now.
Okay.
And then white keeps pushing, going 10-6.
Sure.
And then red goes 17-22, building everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And then white just go ahead, gets a king. And then now here, there, I don't know if you see it, but here is a shot that allows red to break through.
Yeah, I believe I do see it. So you can either go 16-19 first, or you can go 22 to 26 first, and then and hopefully the viewers can see this this position now too. So let's go the 22-26 first, followed by the 16-19, and then the 7-11, and then you have the giant shot. Yeah, look at that, Alex. And then I'm sure there's a little bit of work left to do, but this looks pretty drawish at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I would be able to draw most of the time, and I feel like a lot of other people would. Just you have to be careful with both sides. It looks like white has all the power, but I have beaten a good amount of people on this inning, so because I've gone to this inning on similar other openings, and white can definitely lose this. So you got to be careful with both sides.
Yeah, I mean, again, this just goes to show you that, you know, consider every move on the board. Even if you think, you know, hey, this is the move I want to go with, this is the best move, you know, always double check, because you never know what the other player might be thinking or might not be expecting. So, Alex, I really appreciate your time. You know, today this was great. We went over a couple of different alternative lines of the switcher opening. And I think you would agree, you're probably not going to find these lines readily available, if at all, in any kind of literature or published play.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. Again, that's why me and my father have picked up on these lines, is because this allows us probably the best chance for us to win is going off of a published play and just playing straight up board.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, you know, for the viewers looking at this, this is pretty exclusive stuff here on this channel. So Alex, thank you once again. And thank you all, as always, for watching.